will suffice. I don't see any major issues there. As long as we can apply for consistency's sake, apply to all the other CMSs.
Yes, we are applying all the CMS in the same grade.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some feedback on this particular form here. The countries, I thought we were going to use the ISO country codes whenever we had those, so that we could save some real estate here. And
yeah, it's already documented. I think they're also speaking about the functionalities and the columns and the ability to move around the grid of each CMS and tailor it, columns, etc., etc. Don't worry about the data at this stage, though.
Okay.
There is a ticket to have the ISO 3-letter country designator in the country column. Yes.
Okay, I understand. And also with regard to the type of flight, having a particular code as opposed to having the whole thing written out, I think might be preferable, or at least have it the part begin with it, so you only have to have a little bit showing. There's really only a finite number of actual, types of flights. To have the whole thing written out may not necessarily be necessary.
Yeah, internally, I guess that's the case. How it prints out on the templates and what have you, I think that could be slightly different. Yeah, we can discuss this further. So
Agreed.
That's not a major issue.
I understand.
Mihai, any feedback?
Guys,
yeah, so
check the microphone with the amount of static there is.
Ardash microphone is making noise.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can already see the advantages of using a plugin. I mean, this shows that you can implement in 2 days a thing that it took you to make 2 weeks, and without all the features that are here.
In the CMS module?
Yes.
We'll try. Actually, we have some sprint planning. Based on sprint plan, we'll go through that one.
Yeah, but remember, guys, the whole idea to group all these functions and all these repetitive components is that to also look at the sprint plan and reduce the overall duration of the entire project. So I think that's really important to look at different ways of reducing the overall plan and grouping these tasks together using efficient means.
Yeah, Jimmy, but like in the same way, like age grid is only for the display of the table. Backend work remains the same, like edit and other functionalities. Still, we have to go in the the normal way. And for the already implemented modules, we have to do a I can't say it's the big rework, but yeah, still a rework is required to implement age grid in the place of Angular table. So yeah, but on UI issues and other things, age grid looks good, and yeah, we can reduce the time on fixing the the known issues. So I already received a reply. Safwan, thank you. Maybe by seeing your tweet, they might have replied. So what I'm going to do is we will have an internal discussion because we have only the mail support from them. So we'll be sending them a queries on the the license and what are the support we'll be getting and what are the deployment license. Parallelly, we'll be doing that, and once we are good to go, first we will, for our single module, we will be implementing the full-time AG grid. So after that, we'll have a one more demo once we implement each and every functionality by using enterprise version. Then we will be, we are going to implement the same for all the modules. So parallelly, this is a parallel activity, Jimmy. So the Sprint 10, we'll stick to the user stories, which are, we are planning, and change requests from the Sprint 9, which are, the flow to the Sprint 10. So we have to complete that. In the meantime, because this, the license versions and, deploying that may take a couple of more days time. So once we have everything ready for AG grid, so we will update, we will change the one module, like maybe we'll checklist only, we will implement. Then we will have a one more demo of the full AG grid functionalities. Then if everything is okay, we will follow the same for the other modules. So this is our plan. Is that looks fine, or you have any feedback?
Yeah, just remember on our last conversation, and it was straight after the overall sprint plan was sent out to everyone. We got together and we discussed how the existing overall project plan has a lot of repetitions, a lot of components that are going from one sprint to the next, repeating in a way when it could all be replaced by similar components, and how you guys were going to look at the overall plan and optimize that plan in order to reduce the overall duration of the project.
Yeah.
And this is how it was left. And I believe you and Manju concurred and said you would reevaluate the plan and come back to us. So again, I think it's very important that you guys look, evaluate, re-optimize, and come back to us with an improved plan, given the tools that we are sharing with you.
Yeah, sure, Jimmy. Like once we, after this AG grid, we got the details. So we'll already, started parallelly on the reworking on the project plan, considering the, reusable components and all this, the features. So I'll be sharing a updated project plan in, some days. Maybe, once you prepare a draft, we'll have a, walkthrough. Then we will continue.
Yes, thank you, Chinmay. If we can please prioritize this and get that out, because at this stage the existing plan that is in play is unacceptable.
Yeah, sure, Jimmy. Not only AG grid, we already for the text editor, documents, contacts, all those, already we are preparing a component where we can reuse it. So that also we'll consider in the project plan, and we will update the project plan.
Yes, thank you.
One thing I've noticed is that if you look through the stories and through the tasks in Jira, a lot of them are issues that are notified by the testers. It looks like the testers are working more than the developers.
Miha, is that was our first sprint, and yeah, we have like our QA team has exceptionally done well, and they have found good issues. But yeah, like sprint on sprint, the maturation will increase, and there will be a less number of the bugs. That's what we can on an optimistic way we can think about it.
Okay, what I want to understand is the testers are notifying corrections of the code that UAS team did,
yes,
or they are correcting the code that your team does?
No, like they are identifying defects of our team, and as of now, for the sprint 9, all the issues are related to a checklist only. So they are identifying an issue which is identified by our team, like for the current sprint 9.
Yeah, but that increases the hours spent. I mean, for example, alignment of text. I saw, this is just an example. The tester notified that the text is not aligned. The
Hello,
developer
may I?
did not see that when we, yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Is it audible now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, like we lost you for a couple of seconds.
So I was saying that as one example, there was a task that the tester notified that the alignment of text was not correct. And this was put there as 30 minutes to solve. But what I want to ask, the developer did not see this when he created that page, that table?
Mihai, like
Because all these things, they increase the time that is spent. If the developers work in a professional way, then the tester should only test bugs, not things that are clearly visible.
yeah, Mihai, like I totally agree with you, but yeah, they have, while writing developing that modules only, they will be considering that, but still, when the testers will compare the developed module with exactly with the mockup, so after that, they will come up with issues. So we can't come to a conclusion that our development team is not developing in a professional way, because if you see the functionality, yes, there are some functional issues were there. Yeah, we have fixed it, but in the same time, we have a dedicated QA team is to identify the issues which we are developing. So yeah, this was our first sprint. Yeah, that's the reason you can see the lot of defects. We are already working on it. Like we have come up with a lot of the measures how we can reduce the UI and other issues. Yeah, the one solution is AJ grid. I think after the implementation of AJ grid, ideally these alignment issues and UI issues will be it's going to reduce, and yeah, functional issues, yeah, if it is comes, that is a bug, Mihai, because really we can, like, developers will be they will consider markup as a the wireframe as a reference document, and they will be developing it. But yeah, if you take a ideal software life cycle, the QA team will be present and they will be finding issues. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, we can reduce the bugs, and we are already working on it. I hope in the sprint 10 on the bugs for the particular user stories which we have taken now and the change request, there will be a number of defects will be less. That's what I hope.
Okay, one thing that I want your team to have in mind is that the AG grid is not the end.
Correct.
Whenever you have something
Yes.
whenever you have something in the application that is already developed, has already a module or a component in Agile, we should use it, or at least we should evaluate it.
Sure. Hi. Actually, I will come up
Absolutely.
with new things like what we send, what I send in an editor, like that. Any new improvements?
Like document handling.
Yeah. Okay.
Or later the messaging systems.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
This is just I want. This is just what I want to emphasize. The whole mindset should be to get better results faster, because we are already how to say, we're past the deadline that we presented to management initially. We were way past the deadline we've given the management through the, I mean, Micro Excel gave the document through the deadline through the document. So I want Micro Excel to show us that they can work as smart as fast as they can.
Yeah, Mihai, we are totally agree with you, and yeah, we already, the development activities parallelly, and in the, meantime, we'll be identifying the best practice where it will reduce the development effort.
Okay. When do you think you can implement the age grid to all the CMS items?
Yeah, for that's what actually, if you see the mail, I received a mail reply from EduGrid,
yeah, I saw it.
yeah, after the meeting, we are going to send them a queries, because implementing that may, we may need to have a more details. So once, by end of the day, not end of the day, maybe another 1 or 1.5 hour, I am going to reply back asking like our queries. Once we receive the response, then, we will have a internal, the discussion on how to deploy that and how to implement that. Then first, like that's what, as I told, the earlier, first we'll checklist the whatever, we have given a demo. It's by using a free community version. So in the enterprise version, we are going to implement first on the checklist. So once it is successful, then we will implement to the other modules. For that, I may need a once we have enterprise version, then if we implement full-fledged to the particular module, we will get to know the time taken to implement for all the modules. So Nitesh, that's the right, because yeah, for the POC it took around 5 to 6 hours of our, yeah, sorry, it is around 8 to 10 hours of our time, but that depends on module to module. Checklist was a simple module. Because edge grid is the table, the front end, but if there is any, because of the edge grid implementation, we have to configure many things in the back end, API integration. So, but yeah, that will not take, like, I'm not telling that it will take another, the 20 or 25 days time, but for the exactly how much time we need, that I will be able to update you once once we're able to implement it for a checklist module. Mihai.
Okay. Satish is not on the discussion, no?
Satish is
traveling, so he's not in the discussion.
Okay.
So
Okay,
we
no
are
problem.
meeting him. Mihai.
Okay.
Yeah. On the
Okay, I have nothing more.
Okay, on the Sprint 10, we have already started, and like in the Sprint 10, around 30 user stories are, there for services, and whatever the change request which we discussed in the, the Sprint demo and the review meeting, we have taken up that also, and it's also, we have converted them into user stories, and around 60 open defects which were there in the sprint 9, I have moved to the sprint 10. So that is a parallel activity. We are with the sprint 10 deliverables, our development team is working on clearing of the bugs, and when on daily release, how many bugs we are going to complete, we are going to release them to QA, and they are retesting it, and they are closing it if it is working, or they are reopening if it is, not working. So that is a parallel activity going on. All these details are there in the Jira, and we have started like manage category and create service. So these are the few, the user stories today we are planning to deploy. So QA will start there. They have already completed the test case design for these user stories. That's how, our approach. Like they are n-1 day from a development team. So today, what the development team will, develop, they are going to come up with a test case for that. The next day they will test that.
Okay, when are we doing the Azure?
Sorry. Yeah, Active Directory.
Yeah, hi Mia, this is Arun here. Actually, we have implemented that in the local and we are checking it and we have found few issues. We are fixing it up.
Okay.
So we will be confirming by tomorrow when that would be fixed. And also from your end,
Okay. Mhm.
from your end, how would you be providing us the AD integration? Like you'll be providing us a API, or we'll be using some kind of client ID or something like that?
Well, don't ask me. I'm waiting from you to tell me what you need from us.
Okay, fine.
You have to tell me how you want to integrate it, and I provide you what the connection we can.
Sure. We'll do that. Post we get the confirmation from our development team. Post the issue is fixed.
Chinmay, just wondering how we're going with the requirements that have been posted on our WhatsApp group.
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of feedback was there, a lot of things on services, quite a number of items in a number of CMS items. So I just want to make sure that that information is being captured and it's been logged and will be tracked accordingly.
Yeah, that whatever you have given us the feedback on the services yesterday, that we will package CMS. That's we are doing an internal the assessment, and I think as I know we may not be able to take it up that in this sprint. We'll come up with the first. We'll update the mock-up screen. Then we will take up in the next sprint. If like this sprint, I think since we have services with that the change request, so we may not be able to accommodate. But yeah, for sure first we'll update the mock-up. Then we will add a user story, and then we will take it up. Jimmy, that will be addressed.
Right, okay. We're backing this up with the wireframe. So you are merging whatever we post to you to the existing wireframe, so everything's up to date. We must ensure that the overall project wireframes remain up to date with the updates that we feed you guys.
Service wireframe?
No? So first and foremost.
Yeah, Jimmy, hi. Manju.
Manush, everything. Manju, not just services, buddy.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah, actually, I in the package CMS tab, what we send the mock, I'm doing that one. I'll come up with the mocks. We'll discuss that one.
Okay. Customer preferences, vendors, capabilities. Look at all the tasks, all the subjects that's on the WhatsApp group. We need to make sure that one of the problems of the past, guys, and I don't want to really go through this again, is that feedback was either lost or misplaced.
Jimmy is almost done.
Now we want to make sure we want to make sure that everything is just being captured and documented in a right way, and it's centralized so that everyone can view it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. We'll do that one. Anything? Is anything bad? Okay,
and yeah, maybe the Monday we will be having the visibility sprint the sprint and visibility first meeting, where I think most of the main functionality of the services should be completed, and we will be able to the showcase our progress. I'm going to schedule a meeting.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good, Chinmay.
And yeah, recordings I already added today to the YouTube. Jimmy, you can check it once, if you're able to,
Yeah.
And yeah, this meeting also I'm
Yeah,
recording.
that's appreciated. So took note of that.
Thank you, Jimmy. And on
Okay,
the
guys.
AG grid, Mihai, maybe once we receive a reply from AG grid, yeah. Okay, yeah. So we will discuss it through Mihai.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thanks.
day.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cut ಮಾಡಿ